The top stories. President Ethiopia's Selassie arrives in Moscow to attend Russia's 80th anniversary of Victory Day. And Ethiopia's macroeconomic reform agenda poised to set strong growth trajectory. Hello and welcome to EBC World English News, the voice of Pan-Africanism. I am Shifarao Lako. Thank you for watching us. Now, Ethiopian President Haile Selassie arrived in Moscow Thursday morning to attend Russia's 80th anniversary of the Victory Day, which marks the end of World War II. Dozens of heads of state and governments are anticipated to take part on May 9 for the 80th anniversary of the victory over Nazi Germany in World War II. It has been learned that leaders of many African countries will be attending the Victory Day alongside other global leaders, including the Chinese president and the Brazilian president. As part of hosting the head of state by the Russian Federation, the Ethiopian President Haile Selassie is anticipated to hold bilateral discussion with dignitaries on the margins of the anniversary. The diplomatic relationship between Ethiopia and Russia has been gaining momentum in various spheres. Moving on, India has emphasized the robust and enduring relationship it has with Ethiopia. In a significant announcement that underscores its rapid economic development, India is projected to overtake Japan and secure its position as the fourth largest economy by 2025. The announcement was made during a press briefing by Anil Kumar Rai, the Indian ambassador to Ethiopia. The report is presented as follows. Speaking to journalists, Ambassador Anil Kumar Rai expressed appreciation for the International Monetary Fund's World Economic Outlook, April 2025, which projects that India will become the world's fourth largest economy, surpassing Japan. The diplomat also turned the spotlight on India's latest national developments, bringing to light economic achievements and diplomatic relations.
The IMF World Outlook Report of 2025. Every subsequent, interval, International Monetary Fund comes up with its report, in which it gives that how the world economy is doing and how the country specifics are doing. So in its April outlook, they have projected that India will be the fourth largest economy this year, surpassing Japan. This report also forecasts that because of the sustained growth of India, we will become a 5 trillion economy by 2027, and before that we will also surpass Germany to become the third largest economy.
He also outlined several contributing factors to this economic milestone, including structural reforms, rapid digitalization, increased foreign investments, and a strong manufacturing and service base.
This rare feat by India is attributed to strong domestic demand, favorable demographic trends, and our ability to maneuver and come up with a solution to the trade tensions and the policy shifts which are taking place in the world.
Saying that the two nations must cherish deep-rooted friendship, the ambassador underscored that bilateral relationship between Ethiopia and India dates back to ancient times and continues to thrive in the modern era.
Ethiopian traders used to hand over gold coins to us, and this trade started sometime in 5th century AD, for which the historical evidences are present. At that point of time, Aksum used to be the main center for trade in Ethiopia. Our traders, when they used to go up to Egypt, they used to halt at Red Sea at Ethiopia. At that point of time, Eritrea was not a country, it was part of Ethiopia. If I come to the trade and commerce, so we are the second largest trading partner of Ethiopia. We have the second largest investor in India. Over 650 Indian investments are in Ethiopia. I have been one of the vocal supporters of the economic reforms movement which is taking place in this country. And I see that the way the government is making public investments in beautifying their cities and creating modern urban infrastructure is the best way to create quick returns on those investments.
Looking ahead, the ambassador emphasized that India will continue to support Ethiopia's development, with collaboration expanding across sectors such as education, healthcare, technology, and agriculture. Welcome back. Now, Ethiopia's vast untapped human and natural resources should drive the country's macroeconomic reforms, setting it on a strong path toward sustainable growth. The remark came from Marsha Gabriel, Honorary Consular of Ethiopia to South Africa. She emphasized that fostering public-private partnerships as a strategic approach is crucial to sustain economic development of the country. Jerusalem Batsia has more on that.
Ethiopia has undertaken significant economic reforms in recent years aimed at transforming its economy, diversifying sources of growth, and addressing long-standing structural challenges. Speaking on EBC World's weekly Addis Dialogue, Marsha Gabriel, Honorary Consulate of Ethiopia to South Africa, emphasized that Ethiopia's vast untapped human and natural resources should drive the country's macroeconomic reforms, setting it on a strong path toward sustainable growth.
When we talk economic reforms, it's basically changing a country's economic policies and structures with the aim of improving the economy. Once those reforms are put in place, we have various macroeconomic measures that stabilize the macro economy and arrest financial vulnerabilities. I believe we can definitely create a trajectory, a huge difference in our macroeconomic reforms.
Marsha Gabriel underscored the necessity of fostering public-private partnerships as a strategic approach to ensuring the sustained economic development of the country.
I'm going to look at to enhance the macroeconomic ability of Ethiopia and the business environment of Ethiopia. We would notice that Ethiopia, the government has invested massively, but it is uneven. And the reason I say it's uneven is simply because there must be a public-private partnership to enhance a country's economic ability. Currently, we know that the government of Ethiopia has invested massively in terms of its economic reforms. But to balance the unevenness, I today, from South Africa, will appeal to the private sector to join forces and create an economic stability inside of Ethiopia that the world has still to learn about. So building private-public partnership is very, very important to address not just your social norms, but your economic norms as well.
As Ethiopia has a great potential for collaboration, especially with countries like South Africa and in the continent, Marsha Gabriel said building stronger multilateral relationships and partnerships for investment in Ethiopia is crucial.
You know, when you build not just bilateral relations, but multilateral relations, you invite a diverse talent and expertise to come to Ethiopia and transfer skills to locals. And that for me is key. And with the fertile soil that we have in Ethiopia, agriculture can be developed to the point that affects our economic prosperity. I also would love to talk a little about the mining sector that has such huge potential and has showed massive promise in Ethiopia. Currently, I've put together the mining diplomacy for South Africa with Ethiopia, and that's building your bilateral relations in terms of not just your mining sector, but bringing that together through mining diplomacy will have a ripple effect across all sectors.
Okay.
And that, for me, is key.
Recently, the government has carried out various endeavors to create a predictable and stable investment environment by implementing various bold economic reforms.
And finally, the Speaker of the House of People's Representative of Ethiopia, Taggese Chafose, is hosting the COMESA Week and COMESA Federation of Women in Business Trade Fair and Business Conference in Ethiopia positions the country at the epicenter of women's entrepreneurship and regional collaboration. The 6th COMESA Federation for Women in Business Trade Fair and Business Conference is being held in Addis Ababa. Shagama Tawazmorona.
The 6th COMESA Federation for Women in Business Trade Fair and Business Conference is being held in Addis Ababa. Opening the forum, Speaker of the House of People's Representative Taggese Chafose said that hosting the COMESA Federation of Women in Business Conference demonstrates Ethiopia's commitment to empower women and youth for economic growth. He also indicated that the East African nation is committed to working for women entrepreneurship and regional integration.
This event is more than a trade fair. I believe it's a regional affirmation of our collective determination to place women and youth at the forefront of the African's transformation. It's also a powerful testament to our shared commitment to empowering women and youth, fostering inclusive economic growth, and advancing sustainable development across the COMESA family. This trade fair provides a vibrant and creative platform for women entrepreneurs to highlight their innovation, establish strategic alliance, and access wider regional markets.
Minister of Trade and Regional Integration Kasaon Gofe, for his part, highlighted the role of African women in FCFTA implementation for African trade integration, noting his country's remarkable progress in women-led enterprises.
Ethiopia believes in the power of integration, not as an abstract ideal, but as a practical path to shared prosperity. We believe that a truly integrated COMESA and a thriving FCFTA may be built on the full participation of African women. That is why our government is investing in women-led medium and small enterprises, promoting inclusive value chains, and embedding gender equity into our national trade policy, from improving border infrastructure to reducing non-tariff barriers, to making public procurement more accessible. We are laying the groundwork for a more inclusive trade environment.
Assistant Registrar at the COMESA Court of Justice, Antonio Asome, for his part expresses his commitment to ensure the rule of COMESA Treaty. He says that if individuals feel their rights are violated, they can bring their case through the greater digital access of their trade matters.
What is really important is that small, medium enterprises, businesses and individuals should be aware of their rights under the COMESA Treaty, so that once their rights have been infringed under the COMESA Treaty, they can bring the matter to the court, and the court can help in the resolution of those disputes. The court's main focus is to ensure that it maintains the rule of law, and that individuals have the right to access and receive remedies that would have otherwise not been supported for in their member states. The court has, through digital tools, been able to establish systems like the COMESA Digital Evidence Management System that helps parties file their cases remotely from wherever they are, and they can easily track the case on the system, and also this helps in the transparency of the legal procedures that parties, that individuals have to go through to access the court.
The three-day event, which will be concluded on May 9, 2025 and organized in collaboration with the Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa, COMESA, and the Ministry of Trade and Regional Integration of Ethiopia, marks a significant milestone in the ongoing efforts to empower women in business across the COMESA member states.
All the viewers, you have been watching EBC English News. Now, a quick recap of the top stories. President Taye Asqaselase arrives in Moscow to attend Russia's 80th anniversary of Victory Day. And Ethiopia's macroeconomic reform agenda poised to set strong growth trajectory. Well, dear viewers, with that, we come to the end of today's news. Many thanks for watching us. Bye-bye.